You won't forget this because your brain was never designed to remember everything. Right. Right now, you're forgetting names, conversations, random facts, and even some of your favorite memories. In fact, you've already forgotten most of your childhood. And that sounds depressing, but it's actually one of the reasons humans survive. Forgetting isn't a bug in your brain, it's a feature. Your brain is constantly deleting, reorganizing, and rewriting information because if it tried to remember every single detail of every day, you'd be overwhelmed by useless data. Think about it. Can you remember what shirt you wore 37 days ago? Probably not. And your brain decides that information wasn't important enough to keep, but here's where it gets weird. Sometimes your brain forgets things you desperately want to remember and keeps things you wish you could erase. You can forget where you left your keys 5 minutes ago, but remember an embarrassing moment from 10 years ago in perfect detail. Why? Because memory isn't based on logic, it's based on emotion and survival. The stronger your motivational reaction, the more likely your brain is to store that memory. And that's why people remember exactly where they were during major historical events or important moments in their lives. Emotion acts like a highlighter for memory. But memory is even stranger than most people realize because every time you remember something, you actually change it. And scientists have discovered that memories are not like video recordings sitting untouched in your brain. Every time you pull a memory out, your brain reconstructs it, and during that process, small details can change. And that means some of our strongest memories may not be entirely accurate. In a way, you're constantly editing your own past without realizing it. And even eyewitness testimony, which many people consider reliable, has been proven to be surprisingly flawed because human memory is incredibly easy to manipulate. A simple suggestion can alter how someone remembers an event, and that's terrifying when you think about it. But there's another reason you won't forget this. You're listening to it right now, and if your brain pays attention to the information that feels surprising, brains love novelty. We evolved to notice unusual things because those things could be opportunities or threats. And that's why weird facts stick in your mind. It's also why people can remember movie quotes and song lyrics for years while forgetting information they study for an exam. Information attached to emotion, surprises, or storytelling has a massive advantage over plain facts. Stories are essentially memory hacks, and they package information in a format our brains naturally understand. And this is why ancient civilization passed down history through stories long before writing existed. Stories help people remember things that mattered. And speaking of memories, there's something else that's fascinating. Your brain actually predicts the future using memories from the past. Every decision you make is influenced by previous experiences. And when you meet someone new, your brain instantly compares them to people you've met before. When you enter a situation, your brain searches through old experiences looking for patterns. Memory isn't just about remembering the past, it's one of the tools you use to navigate the future. In a sense, memories are situations that help you prepare for what's coming next. But here's a question: if memories can change, if they can disappear, and if they're influenced by emotions, then how much of your identity is built on something unstable? Most people think of themselves as one continuous person moving through time, but your sense of self is heavily tied to memory. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no memories at all. Would you still be the same person? Now, philosophers and scientists have debated this question for centuries because memory and identity are deeply connected. Your likes, your fears, your beliefs, and relationships all exist partly because you remember experiences that shape them. Memory is one of the invisible forces that creates the person you think you are. And that's what makes forgetting so powerful. Every forgotten memory slightly changes you. Every remembered experiences influences future decisions, and you constantly become a new version of yourself, shaped by memories that survive and memories that disappear. And the person you are today is not exactly the person you were 5 years ago. And 5 years from now, you'll be someone slightly different again. Change happens gradually, almost invisibly, through millions of tiny experiences entering into your mind and leaving your mind. And that's one reason nostalgia can feel so intense. Nostalgia isn't just remembering old times, it's briefly reconnecting with previous versions of yourself. A song can transport you back to a specific moment in your life because memories are linked together in network. A smell, whew, that one gets me. A sound or a place can suddenly unlock experiences you haven't thought about in years. This phenomenon is so powerful that certain smells can trigger vivid memories faster than almost everything else. Whew, I can attest to that. I was a firefighter for 10 years, and the smell of a grill. gets me because I had a scene where people were burned alive and they were trapped in a car. That's a tough situation, and your brain stores information in ways that are just both astonishing and mysterious. And maybe the most incredible thing is that while you can't choose everything you'll remember, you can influence it. Paying attention to matters. It does matter. Paying attention. Emotion matters. Repetition matters. And things you focus on repeatedly become stronger connections in your brain. In other words, where you place your attention slowly shapes where you become. That's why habits matter so much. The books you read, the people you spend time with, the ideas you repeatedly think about, and the experiences you pursue all leave traces inside your mind. And some of those traces they fade quickly, and others remain for decades, and every single one contributes to the ongoing story of who you are. So you probably won't remember every sentence you heard here, and in fact, you'll almost forget most of it. And that's simply how human memory works. But if one idea sticks, let it be this: forgetting is not failure. Remembering is not perfection. Your brain is constantly editing your experiences, protecting you from overload and shaping your future using fragments of your past. And every memory you keep and every memory you lose are quietly helping create the person you'll become next. And now that you're thought about memory this deeply, there's a good chance you really won't forget this. Thanks for watching. If you found value in today's video, please subscribe. We're looking to build this channel on positivity, and we would love to see you here. We'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a good day.